entrepreneurs, and visionaries. Welcome to another Monday Night Live training, where your journey to business success accelerates. Join us for insights, strategies, and tools to elevate your business while keeping your budget in mind. It's time to transform your passion into profit. Your host, Corey Fonville-Foster, is about to take the stage. Get ready to be inspired and empowered. The future of your business starts now.
All right. Hello. All right. Well, I am making sure we're all in the room, but if you are here, tell me hi. Happy Monday. All right. Let's join us live. Gotta make sure I post this everywhere. I definitely need to look into some other solutions because this works, but Facebook makes it harder for us these days. I'm like, why? It used to be so easy to go live, and now it's like a whole thing. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing some research and figure out how I can make it a little bit easier. I want to keep this going. I love our talks, and thank you for everyone who watches us live, who watches the replays. Hi, Instagram. I see you guys too. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on the Instagram. So shout outs to you guys. All right. Trying to make sure we are everywhere. All the other platforms are nice to me except Facebook. Facebook makes me manually go in and do things. So I'm just making sure we are where we need to be. But again, how are you guys doing? Shout out to you guys who joined me earlier today. We had like a little impromptu chit chat about making money this morning. So shout out to you guys who joined me on that kind of impromptu chit chat. Hopefully you did come up with some ideas on how you were going to make money. I called it Making Money Monday. And I think we might roll with that. I think it's fun, Making Money Mondays. But yeah, if you're in our private communities, I went and talked to you guys a little bit this morning just about setting intention on making sure you're infusing money and cash into your business. So that was really fun. And some of you were like, I'm gonna book a call, and you did. I was like, okay, we got calls. So see you this week. All right, let's see. I think we're everywhere. I'm gonna check one more place, and then we're gonna get started. We are going to get started. All right, let's see here. I think we're about there. All right, so tonight we're actually going to be talking about time management, and I think it goes hand in hand with the idea of making money, because some of you have an amazing idea for a business or an amazing brand or amazing offer, but you're not utilizing your time efficiently. So you're not able to really do all the things you need to do to have a successful business. And so today we're going to just get to the real, the raw, the dirty, right? We're going to talk real about time, because I think what happens, and I'm going to say I think, I know because I've seen it with myself and my clients, is that you feel busy a lot, right? You feel like you're doing all the things, but for some reason you're not making progress. But in reality, when we look, right? Sometimes we have to pull back the curtain. When we look at all the things that we think we're doing, we realize that we're just doing busy work. We're not actually doing the things that move the needle in our business, that lead to profitability and sustainability of our business. We're doing the things that are easy for us to do, not the things that really matter and that are going to get us where we need to go. All right, so let's get into it. Let me take a sip here. All right, but before we dive in, let me introduce myself because I know we have some new folks in the house. My name is Corey Fonville-Foster. I'm a speaker, trainer, certified business coach specializing in implementation. And I'm also the CEO of iRock Marketable Business Solutions. And we are here to support you amazing entrepreneurs, you coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, and more as you navigate doing business on a shoestring budget. We love all things business fundamentals, marketing, and sales. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, definitely make sure to always join us Monday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for these trainings. And then also join our free communities. We have 2 now. Shout outs to you guys. I'm so excited. We have one community That's for people who have been in business for a bit and are really trying to hit that 6-figure mark. And then we also created a whole new community for those of you who are just getting started, because we realize that you guys may need a little bit more support. You may need some of those fundamental skills that some of the other business owners we've been working with for a while already have. And so now we have 2 amazing communities. If you're interested, just drop a comment below and say community, and we will make sure we reach out to you so that you get into the community that you need to be in. Okay? Fair enough? All right, so let's talk about it. So mastering time management. Like I said before, it's just important to be very intentional with our time, right? It doesn't matter if you're a full-time entrepreneur, whether you're part-time, whether this is kind of hobby until it gets up and running. Whatever time you have allocated to your business needs to be managed so that you can be as productive and as successful with that time as possible. Fair enough? I think so. All right. So the first step I feel in really mastering the art of time management is being able to be intentional about what you want to accomplish. It always kind of goes back to goal setting. And I know people get tired of me saying it, but if you don't know what you're trying to accomplish, then how can you plan to accomplish it? Right? If you don't know where you're trying to go, then how do you plot the course to get there? So the first step is really being intentional. Like, what do I want to accomplish? If you're getting to your, desk every day and you're like, what do I want to do today? And then you start doing stuff, then you're less likely to be able to actually get to that next piece of your business, right? To move that needle forward. You're just going to be kind of doing things here and there and hoping that somehow it works out. And typically it won't, because business is about strategy. Some things, luck, you may get a client here, there one day, but it is about strategy. You need to be doing the right things at the right time with the right intention to move that needle forward. So first, let's think, what do we want to achieve? Right? What are our goal? First of all, we always pull that business plan back out. Pull the business plan back out, look at it. What's the yearly goal? What's the monthly goal? What's our weekly goal? Daily goal, right? So now we know what we want to do. We know what we want to accomplish. Then we have to start breaking things down and say, what's really urgent? What's important? Right? Because they're different. Some of you think that everything's urgent or everything's important, and then you're burnt out, you're tired, you're stressed, you're aggravated because you didn't get to everything. Some things are urgent. They got to be done. Right? And then some things are important. Like, that we got to find some time for this, but they are not the same. And I like the Eisenhower metrics, and I talked about this before, and I should have put a picture of it up so that you guys could see it. But basically it's 4 quadrants, right? And in the 4 quadrants, you have a section that's like urgent and important things. These things need to be done immediately, right? These could be things like client deadlines. Sometimes I got to stay up late. It's like a client deadline tomorrow. Some things are crisis management. The team has to get together. We got to handle this today, right? For some reason, our emails aren't going out or something like that. Yes, that has to be done right now. There may be things we need to do for revenue. That's what I talked about this morning. Like, some of you are at a place in your business where it's make or break, and nothing matters if you don't make money. So you're like, okay, throw everything else to the side. We ain't worried about no website. We not worried about no logo, no nothing. We need to get to the money. So revenue generating activities, right? Infusing cash flow could be something that's very urgent and important to take care of right now. And then, of course, anything that's critical to like the business, whether it's, going to flop or be able to sustain, that's going to be things you need to tackle right now. But then you also have things that are important, but not urgent. So you don't have to freak out and be like, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to get this done? You just need to schedule it, right? Pull the planner out, use your digital planner, whatever you want to do, but you need to plan it so that you can accomplish whatever that is. So yes, it's important. It needs to be a priority. Put it on your priority list. And I always say, have your top 3 priorities for each day. Some of you got long lists of things. And I get it. I actually I'm trying to see if it's on my desk right now. I think I put it to the side. Oh, here it is. Some days when life be lifing, I have these long notepads where I will just brain dump all the things I want to accomplish in like a to-do list form. I will tell you now, these are not my most productive days. It's just my most stressful days. So I'm like, whatever I can get to, I can just mark it off. And then my goal for the end of the day is like, do I see check marks? Sometimes if it's a real bad day, I actually have really big whiteboards that are on either side of me. You guys can't see them. And actually one whiteboard has some things on it right now. And I'll actually put them there because I'm so stressed that it's like big stuff to check off. You don't want to get there. These are not my typical. I actually have a planner Oh, there it is. Look at me. I'm doing my thing. I keep a planner on my desk. I actually created this one. Shout outs to me. Shout outs to me. Some of you, I don't know if you can really see it because it has a little green screen on. But yeah, but on here, it actually says priorities. And so I can see my schedule at a glance, but then I also can see my priorities. And then I have like a little small to-do list where it's like, hey, if I get through my priorities, my top 3, then I have those things that I can do. So some of you need to start really prioritizing those things that are important but not urgent so that you can get them done and stop making these huge laundry lists of things that you may never get to. And like I said, the idea is you want to give yourself enough work to be productive, but not too much work where you're then either distracted or frustrated because you don't get everything accomplished. All right, so the next tier is your urgent but not important. And I know that your business is your baby, right? You've been working hard. You know this business in and out. But when you have urgent things that are not necessarily important, right? They're not in your zone of genius. You're not the only person that can do them. We need to start delegating that out, right? Some of you are so buried under administrative tasks, things like social media posting, routine client communication, right? You're just fighting your way out. You're supposed to be creating that new product or pitching yourself to possible gigs that you could do for your business, but you're just buried underneath the mess that you don't even like doing. Delegate that stuff out to save yourself some time. It's not in your wheelhouse. You don't enjoy doing it. And truth be told, if you train somebody else, you'd be able to pay them a couple dollars an hour and knock it out. You'd be so much more productive. So sometimes we need to look at the things that are urgent but not that important, and give those to someone else. I actually was talking about this earlier today. Last week, these kids are still home from for the summer. I have a 16-year-old in my house. She has been hanging out here all summer. She did have a little job at one point, but she's free now. So I said, would you mind sending some DMs for me? And she was like, sure. I said, just see how many you can do. I literally gave her a script. Right. And some of you guys have seen it because the book calls. Gave her a script and I said, hey, go into my community, send these DMs for me and just go down, see how many you do. Stop when the hour's done. And every day for about 5 days, she did it. And when I tell you my schedule is booked and busy this week, I said, girl, I'm going to keep you on. I told her, I said, you did so good. I'm going to give you the money that I said because I'm going to pay her for a time. I said, but I'm also going to give you a commission for every sale. Today alone, I sent out 2 proposals because I decided to delegate something. Again, that was fairly important, but it wasn't urgent, right? It wasn't something that I had to. Well, it was urgent, but not that important, right? It needed to be done eventually, but it wasn't something that I had to do. So I delegated that to a 16-year-old. Some of you are sitting at home with a 16-year-old, with a 13-year-old who is watching TV and sucking up your air, and they could be sending DMs for you right now. You may have a 19-year-old that's like, Mom, can you do this for me, do that for me? And you're like, ask them, hey, can you do some phone calls for me? Right? Leverage people around you. It's not about always hiring a VA or getting a permanent staff or a freelance or hiring somebody off Upwork. Some of you got some people around you that can support you and help you. Heck, maybe your husband could do some laundry or cook a meal so that you could then spend that time working on your business. Right? So it's about understanding how to really utilize your time. Everybody likes to say, oh, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. But I will counter that and say, well, think about like Oprah or Beyonce. They got 24 hours in a day, but they got a team of people that help them. You guys need to start building out your team and building out your systems to support you so that you can have those kind of 24 hours. Because I want Oprah 24 hours. I don't want my old 24 hours. Okay. So we got to start shifting our mindset about how we utilize our time. So then we go into not urgent and not important. There are some things that you guys are just flat out wasting time on. You're wasting time. Period. It is what it is. You've been working on that same landing page now for 2 weeks. You've gotten 12 people to look at it and they all say something different. So you keep tweaking it and nobody has really seen, no clients have seen it. You're wasting time. Right? You've been researching how to make a carousel post for 2 weeks. Ain't posted one yet. Right? You're just out here, you're researching and haven't put nothing in place. Right? This is wasted time. Yes, we have to do some of this work. Yes, I get sometimes we got to do a little research. Sometimes we need to create some things. But some of you are hiding, and I'm just going to be honest, you are hiding behind tasks that do not push your business forward. And it is literally just fear that is stopping you. And it doesn't feel like fear because you're like, I'm doing stuff. I'm working, right? You're tricking yourself to thinking you're being productive. But when we really, again, pull back that curtain and are honest, we know you're doing this task over here because you can feel like you're doing all the things, but you're not doing the things you know you need to be doing, right? Like me, I don't want to call nobody on the phone. I'm a millennial through and through. Please don't call me. But sometimes the call has to be had. Sometimes the call has to be had. And so we have to realize that we got to do the right things at the right time and stop just saying, oh, because we're doing something, it counts. Absolutely not. We have to be focused strategically on maximizing our time. So how do we do that? There are definitely many, many methods, and they, depends on the type of person you are and the type of task. But we're going to go over a couple that I definitely recommend. One is time blocking. I absolutely love time blocking because I've never been diagnosed with it, but I feel like I have a little bit of ADHD brain. It's like squirrel. I get sidetracked real easy. My brain will get fixated on a topic and I'll go down a rabbit hole. And so for people who, one, if you have very limited time, or you struggle with staying focused, time blocking is great. You can literally say, I'm going to work on this type of task from this time to this time. So say, for instance, you want to do, and I have a lot of clients who are like, I got 10 hours during the week, during my regular, they got regular jobs. So they're like 10 hours a week. Okay. That's 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Do we have 2 hours together, 2 hours separate? That's the first thing I want to know. They're like 2 hours separate. I can do 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night. Great. That first hour in the morning, we're going to block it off. You're only going to work on business. This is what we're going to work on. We're going to work on, systems of the business. In the afternoon, because your potential clients are home, we're going to work on actual lead gen. We're going to reach out to them. That's what we're going to do. You set that time away for those tasks. I will ask people what they got done on a day. Hey, did you do this? Did you do that? They'll be like, oh, I'm working on it. Or I didn't get a chance, or something happened. That's because you did not block off the time. If you were to look at my calendar right now, it's actually color coded because there are times when I'm working on my business. There's times when I'm working in my business. There's time set aside for family. It's important to assign your time, right? You need to write that down. Assign your time. Because if you're just saying, oh, today at some point, I'm going to reach out to 3 people. Well, that means right before you go to bed and close your eyes, you can be trying to scramble to do that. But if I say at 3 o'clock, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to reach out to 20 people, then I'm more likely to sit down at that time and reach out to 20 people. Again, sometimes we got to be honest with ourselves, because again, we'll lie. We'll say the things to make ourselves feel like we're being productive. But no, if it says on the calendar that I'm doing X, Y, and Z, then when that time comes, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. And if you're somebody who really struggles, to stay accountable, something that I do is I put it in my schedule almost like a meeting. It looks like a meeting because I know when I'm supposed to be at a meeting, I'm there, right? If there's a Zoom meeting schedule, what have you, I'm on that call. So put it on your schedule and it looks just like a meeting. I'm like, okay, cool. This is the time that I'm supposed to be doing this activity, and I do it. Sometimes I'll even pull out a timer, and I wish I would have grabbed it before I sat down. I have one of those timers I use with the kids that shows the remaining time so that if I feel like I'm getting sidetracked, I can kind of glance and see, okay, you only got 30 more minutes, keep working. You only got 15 more minutes, keep working. You only got 10 more minutes, keep working, so that it keeps you on track, right? So you're going to identify what tasks you want to get done, assign the time that you're going to get it done, and stick to it. Now, one thing, again, because we don't want to let ourselves down, be realistic about how much time something's going to take. If you've never done it before, give yourself way more time than you think it's going to take you. And then if you know about how much time, make sure that you do that. Don't say, oh, something that usually takes an hour, I'm going to give myself 30 minutes. You don't want to set yourself up for failure. That's something that I did when I had my team start. I said, hey, see what you can do in an hour. I didn't say do this amount in an hour because I didn't know how fast she was going to be at the process. Now that she does it, we know that she can do about 100 DMs in an hour. Now that I know that, I went back to my team and I said, how fast are y'all going? Because I got a new person, a teenager, who's doing 100 in an hour. So now the whole team knows the numbers go up. I want 100 in an hour. So again, time blocking can be really beneficial, and keep track of this because this information is going to help you when you start to delegate it later to the next person, because you'll be able to know how much time it actually takes you. I remember Back in the day when I was working the business all alone, I was the VA. I knew how long it took me to make, content. And then when I hired someone, I remember she came to me and was like, I've been working every day, all day, barely sleeping, eyes puffy. And I was like, girl, this takes me 3 hours per person. What you doing? Because I've done the work and I had the proof. I had clocked myself in and out, and I could see how long it took me, even if I took breaks. So I knew when I hired someone else how fast that they should probably be going. And I give people grace, but again, this is data that I use to be able to ethically hire other people. Another technique is batching. I love batching so much. I had to explain this to my assistant when I brought her on, because she was like doing one thing, doing another. And then I was like, yeah, you're going slower because you're not batching. Batching is great because it really increases your productivity. It helps you save time. And I think it puts out better quality because you're able to kind of fixate on one thing. So what types of things can you batch? You can batch your content creation. And we actually do this with our clients. We create all the wording at one time. So instead of creating one post wording, right, you create, like, you're typing, okay, this is what I'm gonna put on the graphic. Then somebody will be like, oh, I'll make the graphic. Then I'll write the caption. Then I'll post it. A lot of you are doing that, and then you're wondering why you're not consistent on social media every day. That's because the rest of us are batching. I'm writing a month's worth of content first, right? I'm making sure I'm happy with all the wording. So what's going to be on the graphic? What's going to be on the reel? What's going to be in the caption? What's the call to action? All that at one time. Nowadays, it takes me about an hour to do about 30 posts worth of things, give or take. So I do that, and I actually do it for multiple clients at the same time. I probably will be doing at least 2 clients a night once I'm done with you guys, right? So knock that out. On a different day or a different time, I will just sit and make graphics. Now, I don't make all the graphics anymore, thank God. We've been able to move that to somebody else. But back in the day, your girl would just sit and I would make a month's worth of graphics at a time. And I would just plow through it, and it wouldn't take that long at all because I'm in the zone, right? I'm already in the mindset. I already have the audience in mind. I have the colors in mind. I have the goals in mind of what we're marketing, and we knock it out. And then on a different day, I post. And now our team still does that. They will pick a day, usually one day a month, and they will post for all of our clients back to back to back. And it saves us so much time. So even if you are not delegating this out to different team members, again, block that time, right? Assign the time, but batch things that are similar together. So if you're going to record reels, I had a lady once that I coached, and I said, hey, record, like, I think it's sort of like 15 reels. So she would have, enough for the month, every other day or so. And she was like, I recorded 3. I was like, huh? So you put on makeup, you set up your light, and you recorded 3? Why? And she was just like, well, because I wanted to record it and then edit it and see how it would do. And I was like, absolutely not. I said, what I tend to do is I will grab a couple of different shirts. Heck, I might even grab a couple of different wigs, y'all. And I will just plow through. I will have all of my scripts written out. I actually have like several Google Docs just of nothing but real topics. And as a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you behind the scenes. Everybody but Instagram will see this. All right, let me share this so you guys can actually see what it looks like. Because, I be trying to be nice and bring you behind the curtain. Because y'all think I'm joking. This is really one of my documents for me personally. This is an example of one that I liked. I was like, well, I want to try this. And I just sit down and I write my scripts. Anything in black goes on a graphic or the reel. Anything in red is my caption. And I just go, right? I make all this before I ever get dressed, before I ever put on makeup, before I ever do my hair. I just create all of the whole document. And guys, this document is now 55 pages long. You can see where I've checked off some that I've done, and I just go. And that's what it looks like. You guys, we gotta be work smarter, not harder. Sit down, figure out what your goal is, write down what those ideas are gonna look like, what scripts you're gonna have. And then on a different day, I grab my outfits and I record it. If I'm going to record at least 5, if not more, because I'm like, hey, I already got my light. I'm ready to go. And I'll just plow through them. So please don't waste your time by doing all of this just to do 1 or 2 of anything, right? 1 or 2 posts. Nope, sit there and get as many done as you can. And usually I will set a time. I'll say this is how much time I wanted to be recording. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 2. I'm gonna give you a warning. If you go past 2, you will get fatigued. That has happened. I hired a really great guy and his team to come over one time, and I think we were supposed to do 3 or 4 hours. I was just crazy by the end. I was so exhausted. And when we looked back at the numbers, we actually per hour did less than I would have if I would have broken it up. But again, we were trying to batch and see how many we could really do. Some other things besides content, as far as like social media, you could also batch blog writing, right? Video recordings, make your slide deck. Some of you have courses you want to do, and you're doing one slide deck at a time and then recording it. Do the whole course, have it all written out, outlined out, do all your slide decks, and then just record all in one day. My very first course, we actually recorded it in the upstairs of one of my old house, and I literally had on little booty shorts, cute top, and a table. And I remember the booty shorts because we were doing behind the scenes, and I realized I was all ashy. And my assistant was like, "Looks like you ain't got on no clothes." I was like, "Oh, my bad." So yeah, we had a fold-up table. And it was fine, but we batched it. We did it was a 7-day course. We still have it. It's the Vision to Victory Goal Setting Intensive. But yeah, recorded it, the whole thing at once, because we had everything already prepared, which made it easier. Some of you have been talking about doing a course for forever, and you're wondering why it hasn't got done. Well, it's because you're not batching. Client meetings can be very exhausting. You can batch them together. When you set up your scheduler, set it up that maybe you only do calls from 12 to 5 or 12 to 3 instead of having to jump in and out of calls all day long. Totally fine. What other things? Pitching. I've talked about this before. When I pitch podcasts, I will sit and pitch for about an hour, hour and a half, a couple times a month. And that's it. Unless somebody sends me an opportunity, that's it. And it allows me to get that done, say it's done, get booked, and not be constantly all month long focusing on that, right? Even your email management, write the emails that you want to send out for the whole month, have them done, even have them scheduled into your email software and have them, sent out when they're supposed to be. We can batch a lot of things, and that will save us time. All right, so let's see what else we got here. So we talked batching, we talked time blocking, and then we also talked about utilizing the Eisenhower metrics. All right, so what are some tools that we can use to make this easier on ourselves? Well, digital calendars, planners, to-do lists, whatever works for you. Heck, sticky notes if you can stay organized. Find a system that works best. I'm a hybrid planner. I have my meetings because they are, digital on Zoom. I have them go through my calendar, but in the morning I will sit, and I will take my pen and paper and I will plug into my paper what the meetings are on my schedule. And then, like I said, I'll do my priorities and my to-do list. But I do keep a digital calendar. And I tell anybody, my family, clients, if it isn't on my schedule, it does not exist. So don't think that I'm going to just remember. It has to be there. So figure out, again, what system works best for you, whether it's going to be digital, whether it's going to be paper, or a combination of the two. Don't be afraid of getting a software like a task software or a project management software to help you stay on track. We actually use Trello to do a lot of our project management, but there's also like Asana, ClickUp, and other systems like that. They'll help you stay organized. And then if you have team members, they can be added to projects as well so that they can do their part or be aware of the pieces they need to be able to do their job. You don't want to spend a lot of time having to re-explain or show people things. Put a system together so that they can be empowered to get what they need. For instance, for each one of my clients, I create like a legend, I call it, in their Trello that has all the basic information about them. It has photos, it has logos, branding information, what they offer, their links, everything is there. So when I have team members who come in on projects, they know, go to that first one, learn about that client. We recently did a campaign for a client, and my assistant was like, "Hey, I'm doing some calls where people have some questions. Is there a place where I can get this information?" I said, absolutely. I put it in their Trello. She was able to go in the Trello, learn the information, and be able to efficiently answer those potential clients' questions about the client we were doing a campaign for. All right. Also, focusing tools. Some of us got neurodivergent brains, and some of us just got regular brains that can't focus. Using stuff like Pomodoro timers, you can use stuff like Forest app. You can just use the clock app on your phone and set timers. Some of you just need to focus for an hour. Set a timer for an hour. Tell your Alexa to set a timer. We do it all the time, and do not stop until it goes off. Right? You'll be surprised how much more productive you'll be when you set smaller times. Some of you are like, oh, I'm going to do this in 8 hours. You can do a lot more if you say you're going to do it in 1 or 2, right? So use whatever software is going to work best for you, whether it's a digital checklist that you can mark off, whiteboard, chalkboard. I don't care if you got to write it on your palm. Use whatever method is going to keep you productive, right? And keep you consistent. Now, something that I think is super helpful that I think people don't think about is creating a sense of a daily routine. Or even if it's a weekly routine, I know some of you are still working your 9 to 5 and your days vary, but knowing kind of when you do things is important. So for instance, some of you may get up and exercise, right? And then you may eat breakfast, and then you may get to the office, and then you may go to lunch, and then you come back to the office, and then you drive home on your commute, and then you do whatever, right? So you have like this day set out. What times of the day are you expecting to do what? If I say, oh, today, again, if I say today, I'm going to get X, Y, and Z done, that sounds great. But, oh, yes, you can ask a question at any time. Sorry, I just saw the comment. But you can say, you know, the day you're going to get whatever done. But if you say, all right, at 11, this is what I'll be working on. And in the afternoon, this is what I'll be working on. So for me, if you watch my morning chat, I said, hey, I'm getting up. I grabbed breakfast. I made sure I had my water. I made sure the dogs were straight. And I actually had a little quick project to do outside. I'm dying in a chair, very random. But that's what I had planned for my morning. Once my morning was done, I knew I wanted to be in the office around about 9 o'clock. And I was going to get done all of my work on business stuff, which I did. And then I was able to meet with potential clients. I knew I had meetings in the afternoon. So I knew I didn't have no meetings in the morning, just meetings in the afternoon. I knew I was going to meet with you guys. And then later on today, I'll just be able to sit down when my house gets quiet and work on content for some clients. So what does your day look like? Are you just winging it, or do you have a schedule? And if nothing else, figure out when you're working on business and working in business, because those are two very different things. And I feel like you need to have your mindset ready for those kinds of activities. All right. And last but not least, set boundaries. Set boundaries with yourself. Set boundaries with your family, your friends, your coworkers, so that you can get it done. Yes, life be lifing, but if your excuse every time you don't hit a goal is that life was lifing or something came up, you're not going to be successful. Let's just call a spade a spade. You're not going to be successful if you cannot set boundaries around your business so that you can get things done. And also avoid burnout. Like if you're constantly letting things get in the way and you're staying up late to do it, or you're saying yes to everything, even if it's not going to be essential to your business or push your business forward, you're not going to be able to, have a productive, happy experience, at least in your business. And then make sure you're also reflecting and adjusting as needed. Okay, so you set your boundaries, you got all your things in place. If something's not working, change it. If you've been using a paper planner to plan, but for some reason you just keep forgetting to check it, get a new system. If you got a digital one, but you're always walking away from your computer so you don't look at your times, change it. If you're constantly getting distracted, find a way to fix that. If you're having too many tasks on your plate, change that, right? So make sure you're adjusting as needed. Fair enough? All right. Well, look, that's it for tonight, y'all. We didn't do bad, about 30 minutes or so. Hopefully you were able to focus and utilize this time. Hopefully you took some notes, you got some ideas, because I want us all to be productive. Like, I love implementation. I love getting things done. If you ever talk to me outside of the Monday Night Live, you'll know that I'm big on, like, what did we get done, right? What did we get done? Because you can tell me you're going to do something, but if you didn't get it done, I'm gonna ask you, like, why? And I'm gonna be real, because I will push back. Actually, look, somebody, if you're watching, we're gonna have a conversation tomorrow on why something didn't get done. You know who you are. You know who you are. And my assistant always jokes me. She said, she tells people, don't tell Corey your goals if you don't want her to be on your butt about them. And it's because I tell people, if you tell me your goal, we're going to get there kicking and screaming. Like, it is what it is, because you done told me that that's what you want. So obviously that's what we're going to go. That's what we're going to do. And that's just the way of it, because I'm all about getting things done. So if you're watching this and you're like, girl, I need your help. I want to get things done, right? If you're saying that, first of all, put comment, get things done in the comment section, right? Type it up, get things done, because I want to connect with you. But also, we do free brand audits and strategy calls. We've been doing a lot of little coffee chats too, like virtual coffee chats. They're all kind of similar, but it's a way for us to just chat and really talk about your goals and talk about why you're not getting there. What is happening? You done set these cool goals up. You got this cool business idea. And a lot of times these business ideas be great. You know who you want to serve, but for some reason you're just not getting things done. Let's talk about it. So like I said, comment below, get it done, and let's start chatting. Let's get it done. All right, guys, with that being said, I'm going to let you go for the night. Remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock, and I will talk to you guys soon. In the world of service-based small businesses, success isn't just about what you offer. It's about how you showcase it. Welcome to iRock Marketable Business Solutions, your partner in marketing excellence. We understand that as a small business owner, you wear many hats, but marketing doesn't have to be one of them. At iRock, we offer a range of marketing services designed with your success in mind. Our team is your team, working seamlessly to bring your vision to life. Imagine having a partner who can turn your ideas into captivating visuals. Picture content that resonates with your audience and drives engagement. Think about a brand that reflects your uniqueness and leaves a lasting impression. With iRock, you don't just save money, you get more bang for your buck. Our services are budget friendly, so you can invest in growing your business. And we're all about consistency, no more false starts. Ready to take your marketing to the next level? Discover how we can make marketing easy, affordable, and consistent. Unlock the full potential of your marketing with iRock Marketable Business Solutions.